is Liza, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you have practiced with me before, and if you are new here, welcome to your sacred space and my YouTube channel. So with that, I want to go ahead and dive on into the theme of the class, which is all about intention setting and manifestation with the new moon. This is a new moon yoga flow and manifestation practice. And the importance of working with the energy of the new moon and intention setting, it's in a way spicy psychology. If we allow ourselves to set goals, if we allow ourselves to take the risk of setting an intention, we're more likely to achieve that intention than someone who never sets that goal or intention to begin with. So that's why intention setting is so important in terms of a wellness practice, in terms of a mental health practice, but also I feel in terms of the magic of manifestation, the spirituality of manifestation. There is a power in taking your power back from the outside world. Sometimes we feel that we're just going on autopilot and that the universe is like this and we're just along for the ride. And I think it's important to eventually tell ourselves, no, we have the power. We have the power to step on the mat. We have the power to set the intention, and we have the power to cultivate the life that we deserve. One moon cycle at a time, one yoga practice at a time, one step at a time. So with that, we're going to add a little bit of an optional ritual for you before we dive on into the physical practice, which will constitute with Chandra Namaskar. I'll give you a variation of Chandra Namaskar, as well as some hip openers and a heart opener. Right here, we have a crystal, pen, and a notebook. What I like to do before the yoga practice is I like to write down my intention and take a time to just journal out what I wish to manifest, whether it be on a piece of paper. If it's on a piece of paper, I fold it under my yoga mat so that energy is kind of grounded and infused while I practice. And if it's in a journal, keep it in the journal, place it at the front of my yoga mat, and I'll take my crystal of choice. This is pyrite for abundance, prosperity, and blessings. Place it, and strength, and place it right onto the top of the notebook. So I'll give you a moment to pause the video. You can go ahead and do that, and then we can go ahead and dive on into your practice. So feel free to pause the video when you are ready. And from here, let's go ahead and lie on down. Sometimes I like to bend my knees. Bring my knees mat distance apart and allow the knees to fall in towards one another. The hardest part about intention setting and manifestation is just taking the leap of faith, just going for it. I think, for me at least, the hardest part is starting. So from here, and from this place of start, or stop to start, that's what I want to invite into this practice. Stop. Reflect, visualize. Taking a nice big deep inhale into your body. Exhale, sigh out, let go. Big deep inhale. Gentle exhale. Last big deep breath in. And exhale. Allow yourself to come to your yoga mat and release the past. And bring thoughts of what you wish to manifest for your future into the present moment. Or maybe what you wish to heal from the past into the present moment. Breathing in. Exhaling out, feeling yourself rooted into the earth. And whatever intention you have in mind, really invoke it within the mind, within the body. Or maybe send energy to that notebook or paper that is near you. And from this space, allow this time to be your sacred time. Nothing else matters but your practice, the movement, and embodying your intention. Taking a nice big deep inhale into your body. Exhale, let it go. Beautiful, guys. Let's go ahead and begin to send our knees from side to side. Let's start out with a bit of a twist. So from here, let's see if I can move my clip just a little. There we go. So sending your knees from side to side, go ahead, see if you can hug the right knee in towards your chest and extend the left leg out nice and long. Trace circles with your right knee getting into your right hip flexor, and especially if this is your first practice of the day, if you've been sitting at a desk all day, this might feel really good, or if it's first thing in the morning after lying down, this will also feel pretty delicious. And from here, see if you can send the right knee over to the left side, stacking left or right hip over the left hip, opening on up in the right side of the body. Taking a nice big deep inhale and exhale. And like you are creating a crescent moon with your top arm, bring your top right arm almost into a C shape, bringing first finger and thumb together in Jnana Mudra. Feel a nice stretch from your fingertips all the way down the back to your right hip flexor muscle, allowing the right knee to bring you deeper into the twist as you really send the right shoulder down to the earth. Taking a nice big deep inhale and exhale. From here, go ahead, slowly inhale the right leg back to center. Come on to your back. Readjust in any way that feels good, hugging the right knee on in towards the chest. And then go ahead, see if you can gently extend the right leg on down. Let's take that into the opposite side. So hugging on into that left knee, tracing circles one way. And then in the opposite direction, trusting your flow and your body, starting off with grace and ease and compassion with your body and yourself. And then see if you can send that left knee over to the right side, opening on up in that left side of the body. Stacking left hip over the right knee, and the more you stack, the deeper the stretch will be. If the left shoulder doesn't reach the yoga mat all the way, it is all good. Taking a nice big deep inhale and exhale. Last 2 breaths here. Inhale, lengthening, and see if you can send the left arm up and overhead, bringing the first finger and thumb together in Jnana Mudra, creating a crescent shape with the left arm. When you are absolutely ready, go ahead, slowly release that left Left arm on down, send the right knee back to center. Ground down through both feet and have fun rocking and rolling on up to your comfortable seated position, or you can roll onto your side and then press on up to your comfortable seated position. Let's go ahead and play around with mermaid pose. Go ahead, see if you can send the right foot in front of the left knee. I'm mirror imaging you, so this should be your right leg, and we should be looking pretty similar, but if it gets confusing, just go with the leg that feels good. We'll do both sides. Ground down through the left fingertips and go ahead, inhale, or I should say right fingertips, and go ahead, inhale. Sweep the left arm up and over, taking a nice gentle back bend, and again, creating almost this crescent moon shape with the arms. And then exhale, go ahead, release. Let's do that 3 more times. Inhaling. And exhale. Breathing in, opening up the heart for your intention. And exhale. Breathing on in. And sighing on out. Go ahead, ground down through the left fingertips, sweep the right arm up and over. Beautiful. From here, go ahead, sweep that right hand on down, switch the position of your legs. Grounding down through the left hand. And go ahead, press into the knees to lift the hips, opening up in the heart, inviting in the image of your intention. And exhale. 3 more times. Breathing on in, knowing that you're worthy of all you wish to manifest. And exhale. Knowing when the going gets tough, you gotta keep going. It's been my mantra this week. Last time, inhaling, lifting up through the hips, reaching on up. And exhale, release. Beautiful. Let's go ahead, sweep the legs out to the side and come onto the hands and knees for tabletop position. Grounding down through the fingertips, shoulders over the wrists, sending the index fingers on forward to really open up within the chest and firm the forearms in towards one another. Curl the toes under. Taking a nice big deep inhale. Tilt the pelvis forward and down. Send the belly on down towards the yoga mat, and then scoop the heart through the gateway of the arms, rolling the gaze forward and up, like we're trying to trace the bottom of the moon with our torso. Exhale, tops the feet to the floor. Round in the upper back, chin comes towards the chest. Taking a nice big deep inhale, curling toes under, sending the belly on down, sending the heart through the gateway of the arms, rolling the gaze forward and up. Exhale, tops the feet to the floor, round in upper back. Press into the fingertips to really get in the heart space. Chin comes towards the chest. And just continue to breathe and move at your own pace. Maybe even tracing creative circles. And the moon in yoga philosophy and a lot of different philosophies and perspectives, it's that feminine energy, right? It's that creative force. And that's also the power of manifestation, the ability to create, the ability to cultivate, the ability to carve your own path. So carve your own path as you visualize your intention, as you invite it into your life. And if you're unclear about an intention, or your intention has changed, the energy has changed, you feel disconnected to it, invite in you at your absolute happiest. Invite in that energy. 2 more breaths. Inhaling. And exhale. Last big deep breath in. And exhale, send the tops of the feet to the floor. Come to sit onto the heels of the feet. Allow the knees to be mat distance apart and bow on down. If the lower back is talking to you, you can always bring the knees close together underneath the belly. But if this feels good with the knees mat distance apart, feel free to stay there.
Remember that new moon is that time where the sky is dark. The shadow of the moon is there. And I think it's okay to embrace the shadow aspect as we start our journey. Sometimes we get frustrated. Sometimes we feel like, can we do this? There's doubt. But allow us to still recognize that just because the sky is darkest doesn't mean that the moon isn't there. And always remember, it's always darkest before the dawn. So trust in your vision. Know you are worthy of what you are cultivating. Know you are worthy of what you are manifesting for the highest good of yourself and for all around you. Taking a nice big deep inhale through the nose. Exhale, sigh out through the mouth. Great work. Ground down through the fingertips and slowly come onto the hands and knees for tabletop position once more. This time curl toes under, press into the hands and feet. Lift the hips up nice and high and come into your first downward facing dog. Begin to sway the hips side to side. Really ground down through the fingertips. Firm the forearms in towards each other and down towards the yoga mat, but then spread through the shoulder blades, even if that means you need to create just a gentle slight bend in the elbows. Now continue to sway the hips as you draw the navel on in and send the heels down towards the mat. Last 2 breaths, inhaling and exhale. From here, find stillness in downward facing dog. Inhale, bend the knees slightly. Exhale, push up and back and straighten. Reach the heels on down. Inhale to bend. And exhale to straighten. Last big deep breath in. And exhale. Gaze between the hands and gently walk the feet forward to the front of your yoga mat. Ground down through your feet. And inhale, sweep the arms up towards the ceiling, reaching the hands on up as we go. Hands come on up. Take a gentle baby back bend as we bend up and over. And inhale, sending the hands back to center. Inhale up and over to the right, grounding down through the left foot. Exhale back through center. Inhale up and over to the left, grounding down through the right foot. Inhale back through center. And exhale, swan dive all the way on down. Let's go ahead and dive on into a variation of a moon salutation. This moon salutation will be a bit more fiery just because we're intention setting. Full moon will be more restorative. So from here, go ahead, send the hands up towards the knees. But if it feels good to send the fingertips down to the mat and have a nice long tailbone to the crown of the head, feel free to go ahead and do so. And when you are ready, go ahead, release back into Uttanasana, forward fold. Walk the right foot on back. Make sure the right heel is over the right toes and make sure left knee is over the ankle. So left foot is forward. Ground down through the right fingertips and then sweep the left hand up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, trace that moon or half moon. Inhale, tracing the outline of half of the moon. Visualizing your intention on the inside of it. And exhale, maybe just the feeling of your intention. Inhaling, breathing on in. And exhale. 2 more breaths. Inhaling. And exhale. Last big deep breath in. And exhale, see if you can send the left hand to frame the left foot. Bring the right knee on down, the top of the right foot to the floor. Inhale, sweep the fingertips forward and up. Bring the hands together, interlace thumbs, and reach the hands up and over as you send the hips forward and down in crescent lunge, Anjaneyasana. Hugging inner thighs in towards each other like they're magnets. Coming in towards each other. It sounds like my cat wants to join me. So taking a nice big deep breath in. And exhale, release the hands down to the inside of the left foot. Curl the right toes under, lift the right knee off of the yoga mat, and then pivot the right foot on down. Walk the hands out to the side, and then turn on that left heel of the foot, and then turn the toes to face forward. Begin to bend and straighten, bend and straighten. This is a variation of Skandasana. So breathing on in and exhaling on out like a wave itself. Imagining the moon having such a connective gravitational pull on water, and we are made of that water. Last big deep breath in. Exhale, go ahead, slowly ground down through the feet and come into forward fold. Inhale, exhale, taking a hold of ankles, of legs, maybe wrapping two peace fingers around big toes and bending the elbows to bring yourself a little bit deeper into Parasita Parvottanasana. Taking a last big deep inhale here. And exhale slowly, walking the hands all the way over to the left foot, coming on, or I should say the right foot, coming onto the ball of the left foot, grounding down through the left fingertips, sweep the right hand forward and up. And exhale, release the right hand forward and down. Inhaling, reaching right hand forward and up. And exhale. Just imagining that image as you breathe, going at your own pace, feeling the energy of your incantation, your intention, your wishes for yourself and the world around you, the wishes for your loved ones. Three more breath cycles. Inhaling and exhale. Two more. Last big deep breath in. Exhale, release the right hand on down. Send the left foot on down. Bring the top of that left foot to the floor. Sweep fingertips forward and up. Sending the hips forward and down, reaching in the heart. Breathe. Hugging the inner thighs in towards one another. Taking a nice big deep breath in. And exhale. Breathing in. And sighing it out. Last big deep inhale. And exhale, release the hands on down to frame the left foot. Curl the left toes under and step the left foot to meet the right in forward fold. Releasing and letting go. Allow the worries of the day to just dissipate. Sway the head yes. Sway the head no. Release and let go into this forward fold. And when you are ready, ground down through the feet. Inhale, sweep the hands up towards the ceiling, reaching the hands on up, taking a gentle baby back bend. And then we're going to start on the opposite side. So back to center, inhale up and over, this time to the left, ground down through the right fingertips, or I should say the right foot. Inhale back through center. Exhale, bend up and over to the right, grounding down through the left foot. Inhale back through center. Exhale, swan dive all the way on down. Go ahead, This time, step left foot on back, right foot is forward. Ground down through the left fingertips and back to those waves. But this time, can we maybe release that left knee on down as we sweep the right hand up and over, coming deeper into a twist. And then exhale, lift the knee as you send the right hand on down to frame the foot. And then inhale, release the left knee. And then exhale. Let's just go for 2 more times, breathing on in. And exhale. Last time, inhaling. On an exhale, go ahead, ground down, frame the right foot, and see if we can sweep the right leg up and back. Mixing it up for the right side. Bending on into the right knee. Can you gaze underneath your left armpit and look at your right foot? If that's the case, are you allowing yourself, or can you allow yourself to have a leap of faith? Step the right foot behind that left leg, spin the hips on up, flip your dog. Opening up in the heart in a wild thing. Remembering to stay wild, to stay adventurous. Taking a nice big deep breath in. Exhale, slowly come back to 3-legged dog. And then see if you can step the right foot in between the hands. Take a hold of the ankle, and you can always help that right foot forward if you need to. Adjust in any way that feels good. Send the top of the left foot on down. Sweep the fingertips forward and up. Exhale, Anjane. Take a moment of pride to honor that you are doing amazing. Big deep inhale. Gentle exhale. Last big deep breath in. And exhale, spin the hands or send the hands to the inside of the right foot. Curl left toes under. Pivot left foot on down. And then send the right toes to face forward. From here, again, we're mixing it on up. Place the hands onto the hips, ground down through the feet, and come to rise all the way on up to standing. Let's go ahead, send the heels inward as the toes move outward. Inhale, sweep the hands on up. Exhale, bend the elbows, bend the knees. Inhale, sweep the hands on up. Exhale, bend elbows, bend knees. 3 more times, breathing on in. Exhale, moving with your breath, visualizing your intention. Breathing in. Sighing it out. Inhale. And exhale. Last time. Exhale. From here, come into a star posture. And then like you are tracing the outline of the moon, turn the toes to face forward. With the fingertips, trace the outline of your moon. Slowly come into forward fold. Inhale, exhale. When you are ready, come back into a Skandasana. Bend and straighten, bend and straighten. Maybe the hamstrings and the hips are a little bit more open, so play. Maybe you can be like, look, mom, no hands, and play with that. Whatever feels good. Two more breath cycles. Releasing whatever comes up, whatever storyline may come up, and sticking to that intention. And go ahead, ground down through the feet. Slowly walk the hands over to the left foot, come onto the ball of the right foot. Grounding down through the right fingertips, inhale, sweep the left hand up and over and release the right knee on down. And exhale, send the left hand on back, lift the right knee off the yoga mat. Inhaling, right knee comes on down, sweep, and exhale. 2 more times, breathing on in. exhale. You have this. Stay with me. Once more, inhaling. And exhale. Beautiful. Ground down, release the right knee to the earth. Bring the top of that right foot to the floor. Inhale, sweep fingertips forward and up. Anjane. Taking a nice big deep breath in. Exhale. Hopefully this got the blood pumping just a little bit. To honor that with intention setting also comes a little bit of sweat. Last big deep breath in. Exhale, release the hands on down to frame that left foot. Curl right toes under, step the right foot to meet the left in forward fold. Oh, but I almost forgot the best part. Go ahead, see if you can step that right foot on back again. Ground down through the right fingertips. Sweep the left leg up and back into three-legged dog. From here, go ahead, see if we can flip our dog. Sending that left foot behind us, reaching the hips on up. Take a nice big deep breath in. And exhale. Last big deep breath here. Exhale, just to prove there are no mistakes in yoga. Flip your dog, step that left foot down to the earth. You could always take a hold and kind of help that foot on forward. From here, ground down through the left foot. Send the left shoulder over the left wrist. First, you come into a supported warrior three, and then over time, you can even use a block underneath the left hand. You can come into Chandrasana, half moon pose. If you fall, that's also part of the journey. If anything, I want to invite you to fall, to learn how to fall safely. In this pose is to simply allow yourself to let go. Let go of expectations of holding the pose forever, being perfect at anything. Just try. Just invite the energy of the pose in. Last big deep breath here. And exhale, sweep the right foot next to the left foot and switch it up. Inhale, left leg on up. Ground down through the right hand. And can we open on up? If you fall, woo, big deal, you fall, and then life goes on. Last big deep breath in. And exhale, release. Go ahead, slowly, slowly come to sit. Got a little bit of sweat going. Send the soles of the feet together in Baddha Konasana. Inhale, rise, lengthen through head, neck, and chest. Exhale, fold. Come on down. Take a moment to simply let go. The butterfly allows for evolution. They start as caterpillars and then they get a whole new life as a butterfly, evolving into a most seemingly completely different insect. We as human beings are like that as well. But in order for us to honor that cycle, we have to trust our intention. We have to take it one step at a time. And even if it gets challenging, know that every step, every mini success is worthy of celebrating. Take a nice big deep inhale and exhale. Last 2 breaths. Last big deep inhale. And exhale, release. Slowly inhale to rise on up. You should be in full yoga brain right now. Go ahead, bring the knees to center. Like we are moon priestesses or priests in an Egyptian temple. Wrap your left arm around the knees. Sweep the right arm up, back, and down. If it's possible, see if you can take the left elbow to the right knee. Bring the first finger and thumb together. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, twist, using the right elbow to get a little bit deeper. Slowly switching, wrapping the right arm around the knees. Inhale, sweep left arm up, back, down. Maybe you can get the right elbow to the side of the left knee. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale to twist. And go ahead, slowly come to lie on down. Diving on into Shavasana. And if you have a wall, I invite you also to feel free to come into legs up the wall as well. For right now, I'll just stay right here in traditional Shavasana. Come in however you are as we take our final meditation. Take a moment to just simply notice how you feel the legs, as well as the upper body, and those wild things, and those back bends. Taking a moment to be proud of all that you have accomplished, all that you have done, every step of your journey. Even if you feel at times you are just a caterpillar and there's no way, or the idea of becoming a butterfly seems so distant, know that every butterfly started as a caterpillar. Every successful millionaire started out with maybe 0 in their bank account at some point. Every person started out with 0 or at 0. Or maybe even worse than 0. But know that you too can start from wherever you are at. Knowing you are worthy of this evolution, you are worthy of embracing that intention. So invite it into the body at this point in time. Clear the mind and simply think of that intention, that vision. And when you are ready, slowly begin to move in any way that feels good. If you want to take your time staying longer in this Shavasana, I invite you to take as long as you wish. But if you're ready to come out with me, feel free to roll on your side thanking yourself. Thanking yourself for committing to a practice, to coming to your own sacred space. Grounding down through your fingertips and slowly coming to rise. I thank you so much for practicing with me, for joining me, for allowing me to share this practice with you, and for co-creating with me. May everything come to you with ease. May blessings come your way, and may you find the strength to continue to keep an eye on your intention, no matter how many times you may fall, my friend. Bring the hands to prayer thumbs, connecting to your heart. Remember to take this practice with you off the yoga mat, my friend. Om Shanti Shanti. Peace. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.